Hey guys, I'm here once again to do what is probably, hopefully going to be my last Accutane video. Most of you have probably already heard a lot about it and are tired of hearing about it, and I haven't done a video in a really long time about it because I've actually been off Accutane for close to 2 years now. I finished my last treatment in June of 2013, somewhere around there. And the only update video I had done was 3 months post Accutane, just after getting off of the medication and just kind of talking a bit about how that was like for me. I've been wanting to make a video talking about how it's worked long term, but I never really got around to it, and I didn't know if it was going to be of any use to anybody. But I did see some comments on my 3-month post about people wanting to see how I am now, how things are going today, and I have a coworker that actually asked me a bit about what it was like for me because she just started Accutane, and I'm probably the only person she knows in real life that's gone through it, and she did see me going through it when I was on it, so that kind of prompted me to go ahead and make this video to finally go through and do it, because I figured it's just one last video and hopefully it can help somebody in some way. I chose this particular time to make this video as well because I have visible pimples on my face. Obviously not as bad or to a caliber that I ever had them before, but you can see them. If I zoom in, I've just got a couple little tiny red dots on my face, but for the most part everything else is pretty clear. You can see there's not any sort of, not a lot of scarring or anything, not any sort of big groups of pimples. Pimples don't show up pretty much at all anymore. These are the first 2 pimples I've gotten in quite some time. My forehead used to be a problem area. It's no longer a problem, so for the most part, you know, I can't complain. This stuff does work. I still stand by the fact that it does work. If you have severe acne, then that's something worth discussing with your dermatologist or doctor. I don't regret for a moment that I did this treatment. You know, it's really helped me immensely. And the couple pimples that I get now, I just have to try and tell myself that I've done everything that I can, and everybody, no matter who you are, gets pimples every once in a while. And that's not something that's probably ever going to change. It has a lot to do with the weather, hormones, you know, things are kind of out of my control. And I've done what I can in order to prevent pimples on my behalf. And not only did the medicine help me with the acne part of it, but it did a lot of lifestyle stuff for me. It made me realize how important not only washing your face and not picking at your pimples and your scabs and, you know, not doing this or that or the other thing is important, but it also taught me how important diet and things like that are, which is something that I never thought of before I started the treatment. Of course, I had acne mostly when I was a teenager, so I thought it was just something that I would grow out of or something that was perhaps hereditary. You know, I didn't really think that it was my fault necessarily, but really looking back on it, I think that if I had looked at that first and changed a couple of things about myself there, then I think it would have maybe made an impact on my acne. For example, I never used to drink water, ever. Never used to touch the stuff until I started Accutane, basically. And since I started drinking water, now I don't think I could, you know, live without drinking it. It makes you realize how thirsty you are. It, you know, it dries your skin out when you're dehydrated and all sorts of other things for your health. So I have really learned a lot from it, and I have, you know, a lot to be thankful for from it. And I am one of the lucky people who didn't end up with any sort of long-term side effects. All of the blood work I had throughout my Accutane treatment was good. All of my blood work afterwards was good. I've gone to do physicals and things like that afterwards, and everything is good. I have no long-term physical or mental disabilities or anything that came from it. So my organs are good. Again, a lot of side effects, and there are a lot of people who do get unlucky, or a lot of people that suffer from some of the side effects that Accutane can cause, but that's why it's really important to discuss it with a doctor, with a dermatologist, and to really be very, very hypersensitive and very careful when you take it. I feel like I was rambling on, but hopefully I managed to make a point or get something across. So yes, I still do get the occasional pimple, but nothing to the magnitude that I used to get them. They're totally fine to deal with now. I mean, you know, I get the occasional pimple and I think, oh, I have a pimple, great. But it's not anything to the caliber that it used to be, not nearly as painful, not nearly as difficult and ugly to look at, nothing that really makes my self-esteem go down or plummet as much as it did before. And my skin is in pretty good condition, all things considered, so I really couldn't be happier. And if there's anything I forgot to mention in this, or if there's anything else that you have questions about, then feel free to leave it in the comments. I just want to thank everybody again who was so incredibly supportive through my Accutane journey. All the people who had watched the videos and commented, and I got a lot of views and comments on my blog as well with all the photos. And looking back on it now, I mean, it's such a major difference. I don't even recognize that person anymore, and that was such a part of my life for such a long time. So I'm glad that that's in the past and I can, you know, move forward. So anyways, have a great day, guys. I'll see you later.